Alan, I want to welcome you. I'm very interested in your testimony. Can you explain who you are and who you represent?
Well, I'm the executive officer of the East San Diego County Association of Realtors. We represent around 1,000 real estate professionals in the East County of San Diego. It's probably a total of 2,000 real estate professionals. That's including brokers, agents, escrow officers, lenders, etc.
What are some of the issues that you've seen in California that are either helping business or hurting business?
Once upon a time, maybe 20, 30 years ago, when you wanted to write up an offer to buy a house, it was just a couple of pages, and that's all that you needed, and deals worked just fine. But with trial lawyers suing, with courts making decisions, and with the legislature thinking, oh gee, we should regulate one more thing, or regulators thinking it up on their own, now instead of a couple of pages, we got a couple inches thick of paper.
With all this paperwork and regulation, does that create additional liability for all the brokers?
Before, when it was a very short document, it was much easier to figure out what you need to talk about and what you don't need to put in there. Now it's constantly trying to review all these forms and figuring out, is it done completely?
In Sacramento, we frequently are talking about affordable housing. If you had a magic wand, what would you do differently to make more housing affordable to Californians?
I think one of the things I would do is I would make some of the zoning regulations more streamlined, the whole process of permitting streamlined, the environmental regulations that drive up the cost of housing, the tax districts that overlay everything. It has just become the actual dollar value of the wood, the sticks, the cement, whatever, is the smallest part of buying a house these days. What the big parts are government fees, having to deal with all the regulations, go out and hire consultants to make sure you've got this or that environmental clearance. It's just become a nightmare, and it's those other costs that have nothing to do with the dirt on the ground or the structure you put on top of it that's driving the price of housing.
Alan, if you could change one item in California to improve the business climate, what would it be?
Right here in San Diego County, in East County, we have an issue where one city will be very highly taxed. You buy a car there, it's going to cost you $800 more. Go over to the next town over 1 mile, it's going to cost you $800 less because it's a lower sales tax area. So taxes do in fact change our behavior. They cause us either to go buy someplace else or they cause us to not buy at all. And I think the same is true of housing. You know, the more that we can free up people to have their money and not owe it all to the government, the more likely they're going to be able to buy and sell houses.
Alan, thanks again for coming in. Appreciate it.